Okay, this is a video. We're going to take a look at labor reporting using the mobile clock entry. So we're going to take a look at the preference settings and how that will dictate the behavior of the mobile app. We're going to clock in, wait some time. We're going to clock out. We're going to approve the clock entries, and then we'll show how the labor is posted against the production order. Okay, so let's go to Acumatica, and first we'll go into production orders and then production order preferences. And notice the settings on the right-hand side here will dictate how a lot of the data collection works in the production module, how I default the user ID, and whether the clock, restrict the clock entry to only use the current user. So if this is checked on, I can only enter entries for myself as an employee, or if this is unchecked, I can enter or have a shared login recording the clock entries. Okay, so now let's go create a production order. Going back to production orders, new production order. I'm just going to take a sample item. We're going to make 100 of these things, and I'm going to save the order. And now to record anything, I need to release the order. So that gets me into a status to allow for the labor entry. Now I would normally have done my release material and other things that I need to do in a normal processing. Okay, one other thing while on the production order, we'll come in and run the production ticket. And this production ticket will have barcodes for each of the operations and warehouse and other entries that could be scanned either using a phone or a barcoded handheld device, making it easy to do the clock entry. Okay, now we're going to go into an emulator using the mobile Acumatica mobile client, and here on a phone we have a clock entry tab, so we're going to click on that. We're going to go into plus. Now, based on the settings, it will default to an employee, but I'm going to enter one here, and now I'm going to pick the production order that we entered before, and I'm going to clock in. Now, in a few minutes, we're going to clock out, putting a quantity and show how the labor transaction will be posted. So now the operator would go do his particular operation and then record the time. Okay, so now we're back at clock entry. We waited a fair bit of time. I'm going to click on the entry, and I'm going to come in and put a quantity here, complete of 50. And we can see that it's been 31 minutes. I'm going to clock out. And I come back to my entry form here. And now we'll go back to Acumatica and release that labor. Okay, so now back in Acumatica, we're going to go into approve clock entries. And we can see that order for the quantity of 50 has showed up. And I'm just going to select it and hit process. That's complete. Now if I go back to my production order, I go to event history, we can see that there's a labor transaction entered against that particular amount, showing the half hour of labor, a little over a half hour of labor for the $10.67. The amount will be dependent upon the time that's set up on the BOM and the labor code and traditional costing within the production orders. But that's the process to do the manual entry. So it becomes very easy for a user to clock in and clock out on jobs, record the time using a handheld device, barcode device, a tablet, a laptop, their own phone. If they're using any of the mobile devices with cameras, it can read the barcode that we saw from the report before. But very easy to report production labor.